Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson. This is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
And seeing as we've come into October, I thought we might take the opportunity to review a few movies that deal with Halloween
type stuff.
So I put together two movies that we're going to review tonight called The Houses October Built, Part 1, that was released in 2014, and the sequel that was released in 2017.
Which was called, by no stretch of imagination, The Houses October Built 2.
Exactly so. Anyway, so
These are both found footage horror films. I don't normally like found footage, but these ones are passable.
Yeah, and they have my favorite thing I like in horror themes like this one. It has horror mazes and haunted houses.
Yeah, you're going to go to a theme park and you go through the haunted house or thing and people jump out and scare the crap out of you. That sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that you enjoy when you're going to the... Like me and Mike, we discussed it in the past. We are going to Fright Nights to check out the mazes down there.
Yeah, Fright Nights at Movie World in the Gold Coast in Queensland. We went there a couple of years ago before the coronavirus. Now everything's open again, so we're going to go and relive the fun.
Yeah,
or re-die the fun or whatever.
Yeah. We also invited my sister and her friend along for the ride.
Yeah, they'll scream the tits off.
I can't wait. So, anyway, Mike,
The usual?
Usual.
Okay, both movies were produced by Zach Andrews and Steven Snyder. Now, both movies were directed by Bobby Rowe. Now, Bobby Rowe, actually, the first movie, The Houses October Built, was his film debut as a director. So so he's done quite good for doing both these movies. Now, it says storyline written by, I would presume, the original storyline. So the storyline was by Bobby Rowe, Zach Andrews, and Jeff Larson. Now, written by, for the first movie, was Bobby Rowe, Zach Andrews, and Jason Zada. I think right pronunciation.
Right.
And the second movie was written by, screenplay was written by Bobby Rowe and Zach Andrews. Both Bobby Rowe and Zach Andrews starred in the movie. It's a bit cheaper that way. Now, there's no dollars and cents things to talk about, primarily because there's a very limited theatrical run for the first one, then it went to DVD, and second one I think went straight to DVD. So home video, home video on demand, whatever, in January 2015. So what else?
Well, then, who stars in it? I know who stars in it, but...
Well, I'm getting on there. This is quite funny here.
It is funny, isn't it?
No. Brandy Schaefer, she's a lady, she's usually nice, plays Brandy. Zach Andrews plays Zach. Bobby Rowe plays
Bobby.
My hero, could be his brother, plays Mikey. And Jeff Larson, drum roll please, plays Jeff.
No surprise.
No imagination here, hey.
Well, Mike, bear in mind, this is a found footage movie, and sometimes in some found footage movies, they would use the actual actor or director's name in this production, seeing as their cast consists of the director and his friends.
They could have made names up for the story.
I know.
Hello.
But it does make it a little bit more, less, just in case they did make up their names, they may accidentally say their real names, off camera by accident.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway,
hey,
mostly...
I did like the Winnebago they were driving around in. It was really good. I want one. Yeah.
Anyway, the the haunted houses they visit are actually real ones.
Yeah, in the theme park haunted house, maze things you walk through. Yeah. They went to real places. Which is good.
Like this year we went to see Evil Corp, and that was a real Halloween, or not Halloween, it's Halloween, a bit of a maze, horror maze.
It's a Halloween type thing, but it's all year. They just change the theme every month or so it keeps it fresh. Yeah,
it keeps it fun. I haven't seen any updates on on what they're going to do for this Halloween coming up. Maybe something special, I don't know, but something.
Put a pumpkin at the front. Yeah.
But something really incredible to watch and take part in, hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want me to dive in, Mike?
I've got nothing else to say. I don't think so. No, you might as well jump in. Yeah. Carry on.
So the story begins with a bunch of guys and a girl, obviously, who are going to go on
Actually starts off retro, like isn't in the boot of the car.
Yeah, she's in the boot of a car, and then we flashback to 5 days ago, where they're going to go on a 5-day
cross country
of checking out horror haunts and horror mazes and stuff like that.
Different theme area, theme related places like that.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, have fun for the whole family.
Yeah, they all like horror and they all enjoy the store stuff, and it's exciting. So they load up the car, they get all their gear together. One of their friends is a filmmaker or film major who graduated, so he's using this opportunity to document their film excursion.
Whoopee.
So anyway, they get on the road, and it's boring. But when we get to the first, horror haunt or maze, we then get into some really exciting stuff where we watch them getting spooked out by the costume people here and there. It's really good, and they do one-on-one interviews with those people.
Yeah, some of the people who work there and the managers of the parks and stuff, and there's an underlying theme about, do you screen the people who work here? And they said, we don't normally screen the people, and it does attract some weirdos occasionally, and yada, 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 setting the theme and style and the atmosphere for the film.
Yeah. Anyway, so you guys know, when you go to these mazes things, they don't touch you, because
they're not supposed to touch unless it's in the program.
Yeah, unless there's they have a form that says they can touch you and scare you that way.
But you can't touch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep your fingers off our actors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
they can't hit them.
Anyway, so the days go by. They go to some really good places. They even was a scene where they end up where they end up on the roof of one of the buildings screaming "Happy Halloween!" And of course, they get in trouble by John Law. So,
Mr. Clown.
Yeah, they do get noticed by porcelain doll faces, clowns, and other type of people. Like they're watching
and a demented bunny.
Yeah, a demented bunny. Yeah, we keep wondering why they're following our people along as we go. Some really good haunts as they go, and eventually they hear about this one called Blue Skeletons.
Yes, the Blue Skeleton.
Yeah, and in order to find out about it, they have to meet Mr. Giggles at a bar somewhere to discuss it with him, to find out more about it, where to find it.
Is that his real name, Mr. Giggles, or is it an alias?
It's an alias.
Okay.
Anyway, they walk outside. We don't see them again. They leave their camera lying discarded. Then we don't know what they were talking to that person about. And some drunks...
I would have taken the camera with me just turned it off. But no.
But the drunks end up taking the camera. Some drunks taking it from the bar, took the camera, and start filming Brandy inside the ladies'
the woman's powder room.
Yeah, they kept pestering her until her friends return, and then they move on. They're making plans to go to the Blue Skeleton. They're that night, or one of the nights, I can't recall, they hear rat-tat-tats on the doors.
The chamber door.
Yeah, creepy stuff. And the next morning, that very night, they get filmed by an unknown person we don't know. It's really creepy.
Well, yeah, I've got a funny feeling.
Oh, yes, so do I. Anyway, the next morning, they discover some blue skeleton masks that are on their windscreen wipers.
Yeah, masks for each of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, for each one of them. And some of them are creeped out, some are not so sure of this idea of wearing these masks. Maybe. Anyway, they soon arrive at New Orleans. The place where they often do their own Mardi Gras thing, or in this case, it's a Halloween thing.
Halloween Gras.
So this is the night of Halloween. So this is where the very interesting costumiers, the awesome people come poking out and start doing their trick or treat. in this case, trick.
I'll trick or treat you in a minute.
Anyway, one of the guys, a camera guy, he starts following one of these creepy skeleton guys, or actually, he thinks it's his friend. And then somehow the costume guys that have been following our group for quite a while, then advance on him, and then he gets dragged off in a way we don't see him again for a while. And then the others, they eventually can't find their friend, and eventually they head back into their van.
Yeah, but they try to contact his phone, and they realise his phone was not answering. But it's I don't know. They get. I don't know if they can found out his phone is not in that area anymore. There must be some sort of tracking way they can track phones. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they went and they followed the instructions and went and met up with these guys who might have their little friend in custody.
They then, using their friend's phone, tell them, step out of the car or your friend gets it. And eventually we hear a gunshot. And then we see and hear another gunshot which comes from the back of their van. And we see one of the skeleton mask guys coming in and trying to kidnap them. And they soon are inside a bus. Yeah, bus.
Yeah, bus, yeah.
And they're heading towards...
And they're blindfolded and stuff.
Yeah. Each one is blindfolded by a black hood and don't know where each of them are going. Each one is separated from the rest of the group. And the final one, Brandy, is placed... is the one we follow in the final scenes. We do watch the others getting either at different times. Each one given a camera to record where they're going.
Pro or something.
Something like that. Anyway, they start exploring the place that they're in. I don't know what happens to them. We just see a lot of weird stuff. We can't, because most of the time it's usually very dark and we can't see anything. We don't know. And eventually, we see Brandy much later, in the same situation as before.
Yep.
In the beginning of the movie, she's stuffed in a car.
In a trunk.
And she's kind of... The trunk opens and she's placed into a coffin of sorts. And we watch as the remaining people start ranting and trying to open the coffin lid off. And then we cut to credits. And we think that maybe they might be dead. Because they're being buried. I mean, the skeleton guy is actually burying one of the coffins to the tippy top, and we think that they will suffocate and die in there.
Hope so.
Now we move on to the sequel.
Now wait a minute. Excuse me.
Yes, go on.
When they were at the bus, when the bus was taking them to this place, Zach actually said to his friends that this is a part of the Blue Skeleton experience.
Huh.
He said, it's okay, it's part of the Blue Skeleton experience. So he actually got off the bus and walked off the out of their camper van thing to head towards the bus. He actually said that line.
Yeah, and then got shot.
But supposedly, so that's the whole point. We don't know, because everything is like, ooh, what's happening here? So we don't really know whether this is real, fake, staged, or anything else. Because they have a quick ending at the end, it just cuts off. So, did they all die? We don't know. And then we roll in, like I said, the sequel.
Yeah, so we come back to where we left off, where the Brandy's inside the coffin, or everyone is inside the coffins, they're being buried, and then a police car rolls up and he arrests the skeleton mask.
Who's burying a coffin.
And we then find out the coffin's empty.
There's no one in it.
That's
the one she's supposed to be in.
Yes.
Aha.
And then we cross over to the next morning, I think, where it's...
same day.
No,
same night.
No, it was daytime.
That morning. That night time, the sun came up,
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, it's morning, and some of the people drag a traumatized Brandy out of the car, and he throws some videotapes from their experience
on the ground next to her.
Yeah, and the Blue Skeleton gang, they get into the car and drive away. And then we cross a year later, where we find out Bobby, Mike, Jeff, and let me see, what's his name? Mike are all alive and kicking and everything. Yeah. And we were surprised that they're not dead or buried.
It's funny that, hey, considering they're supposed to be buried.
Yeah, and considering that their mate was either shot, the guy who I mentioned who was dragged away, it seems.
Funny that, hey.
It's strange. And they're not traumatized by the experience. They say, let's go on and give us another one.
Yeah, go on, give us another one.
Meaning
But she didn't want to do it again because she didn't have a good time.
See, this Blue Skeleton Gang, they uploaded the footage of Brandy being in the coffin and screaming her lungs off. And they like the video, and they want the group to explore horror haunts and mazes and get paid for it.
Yeah, The guys, I don't know if they have been approached, the boys, or the boys have approached, whatever. They want them to go to their places and go for their horror mazes so they can stream it, and they want to pay them to go there because they've got some a good amount of followers or something or other. So they're going to get paid, but they want Brandy to come along because she was the main. She's Coffin Girl. Exactly. She was the main attraction for the footage, which we didn't actually see. So I presume it was centered around her.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what they're offered. They're offered this money, and they're offered to go travel and around the world, even to an extent too. There was even mention
around America.
Yeah, but there was even mention of a couple of European places they were
considering going to. Yeah.
Anyway, the group tries to ask Brandy if she would like to come along, but she says no. This whole experience has left her shaken. She does not want to go.
Not stirred.
So the group go on without her. So they went to a few horror haunts and mazes. Some are lame, some are pretty interesting with the performers. Others are just stupid machines that look like you were kid.
Yeah, all sort of crap. But some of the guys, the better ones, were starting to cancel the agreement because Brandy wasn't part of the team.
Yeah, they don't want to watch four
guys running around.
Running around the mazes and not without a scary girl screaming at
traumatized girl running around with them. Yeah.
Anyway, I've seen these kind of vlog videos on YouTube, and they're a lot of fun when you watch them.
They can be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they can be really exciting, and that's what I've been trying to do with my vlog series, try to do a bit of a, show you what I see sort of thing. It's exciting. Anyway, they finally get Brandy on board, and they even ask her to see a psychiatrist lady to talk to her about fear and trauma.
Talk for her traumatizing experience and stuff, and try to get over it.
Yeah, she talks to her, and she's a real therapist, as it turns out. Throughout this experience.
Well, it says she was.
Yeah, throughout this, some of these people, the extras, some of them turn out to be real people, not made up.
I said Dr. So-and-so, yada, but like I saw Frankenstein movie had a question mark saying, or pay himself, that sort of stuff. So you can't always go by the credits. Yeah.
Anyway, so she talks to her, tells her that she doesn't know. Her friends don't understand what she's going through. They've been through the situation. They're not traumatized as she was. I mean, she also had a fear of I guess close spaces and
claustrophobic.
Yeah, stuff like that. And anyway, the psychiatrist says to go on and do what you think is best or comfortable with you. And eventually, Brandy agrees, and they go to some interesting stuff. Not just haunted mazes or anything like that. They actually go experience a zombie run, which is kind of fun, really.
Yeah,
where you get chased down by zombies, and that's a real thing. And there is something like that happening in Brisbane. I haven't experienced it myself, but I heard it's a lot of fun.
I'll take your word for it.
Well,
doesn't mean I couldn't run. I'd be pushed in a wheelchair.
I would probably burn out by the time we get to the end of the experience, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, it's like that, and Anyway, there were some other good ones they experienced, and by the final maze thing, she encounters the same skeleton face we saw it from her previous encounter with the blue skeletons. She was surprised, shocked. Eve, the cameraman who was with her, the cameraman guy who was with her, was shocked too, and he showed us the film to his friends, and they think their friends shrug it off, but the owner in charge says he never seen this man before.
Hadn't seen that mask because we haven't. He knows all the masks these people are using.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, they're sleeping in their Winnebago. And as they're sleeping, we see someone who's put some drugs in their car. Smoking.
They gassed drugs. Them of something or other.
Them, and while they're asleep. And one of the blue skeleton guys comes into their Winnebago car and drives it to somewhere else. I think it said something about it was heading towards Canada. Not Canada. I mean,
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Outer Banks, North Carolina.
Okay, North
I don't know that area myself. So.
Yes, they've actually gone to different places in this place throughout the Winnebago. It was pretty cool. Anyway, they arrived there, and their Winnebago car door can't open. They tried jiggling the rock.
They got a thing jamming it.
Yeah, whatever's jiggling the lock is stuck, and they're then told to later that night. It gets close to nighttime. The door opens, and the group is escorted by some scary clown masks inside the complex. It's like a very big, old abandoned building.
A
warehouse or abandoned building.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're escorted. They're pointed out to the skeleton guys where to go. And you think it's a bit boring at first, but then they're told to put on these special hoodies that has the zipper zipped up to their face.
Yeah, zipped up over to the top of your head. So
then,
quite interesting.
Then the very figures approached them at once and chloroform them. Even though, when you think about it, a hoodie, how are you going to be able to smell chloroform through that?
You'll still breathe through it. But the thing is, they all get chloroformed at the same time.
Yeah.
But then a few moments later...
No, don't go there yet. Anyway, a few minutes later, we see Brandy awaken.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to reveal the big secret. Anyway, Brandy wakes.
She's there by herself.
She sees that her friends are gone, and she gets up and she starts wandering the complex.
Doesn't someone come into the room?
Yes.
Where she is? Yeah.
And starts leading her, and we see what becomes of her friends, or so we think.
Yeah.
We see, we see one of her friends gets burnt alive.
Yeah, they're pouring petrol over his head.
Yeah. And one person is being stabbed with a knife into his his arm. Really gross. And I think the other one was
had blood being poured all over him and trying to make
and he was bashed on the back of his head.
You have a piece of something or other. Yeah. And
eventually she escapes this.
If he goes in the other room, doesn't she see someone hanging around?
Yeah, she sees one of the guys being hunged.
He was well hung. Sorry.
Anyway, she escapes this guy, and she eventually meets the porcelain doll face girl, and two other girls wearing makeup, and they kind of point her out to the exit, and she soon gets, as she's going along, she eventually meets up with more skeleton guys outside. It's daylight. I don't know what time, considering it was nighttime before.
Well, I said it could have been morning again. Yeah.
But who knows how long they've been chloroformed for?
A few hours.
Anyway, soon enough, five skeleton guys, including the one with a blue mask that's standing above them.
The head skeleton. Yeah. Or was it red skeleton? Sorry.
Yeah, he's wearing a blue skeleton mask.
Sorry.
And
I thought red skeleton.
So the four skeleton guys, they approach her with a small mini coffin, and inside is a gun. She takes out the gun, and soon enough, all four skeleton guys start panicking, realizing, oh my gosh, we thought it was a check, because they open them, they take off the masks, and it reveals that it's Bobby, Zach, and
the
Mike
other guy,
and
Mikey,
Jeff there.
all
and
happy and smiley.
Yes,
No arms and legs broken.
They all say,
no.
there's nothing.
It was a joke.
It's all a joke. All that
Pretend.
stuff.
Yep.
But then she takes out the gun and
Shoves it in the mouth and goes bango.
Then we flash back to the porcelain doll figure we
a
before.
couple of minute flashback.
Yeah, we see her guiding Brandy through the building, and we see a TV screen where it shows Zach, Bobby, and Mike and
getting
Jeff
ready with
inside,
prosthetics and stuff. And
of the night, the year ago when they were in the coffins, and they were actually in it on it with the blue skeletons.
Yeah,
See,
and
they were actually faking the whole experience inside those coffins.
Yeah.
But Brandy doesn't know that. She thinks that all of the time she's been traumatized by this experience, and her friends have been kind of in on this and kind of scaring her to death.
But the funny part is also it has current time there, and they show the guys getting rid of the prosthetics to trigger this year, and she realises those mongrels.
Yeah.
And then the girl with the little mask on gives her
a fake gun and a special package that allows you to shoot
an exploding
a charge
an exploding
that
blood
allows
bag.
you a fake blood to dart out in the opposite
So
direction.
she's going to put that in the back of her hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, she then wakes up a few minutes later.
It goes back to...
Yeah, we go back to the present.
Where she
and
is,
she is deeply annoyed and says, "That's it,
Wait,
I'm done
no,
with
no.
this."
She's laying on the ground, and the guy's laying around, and then she sits up, and then she says, "I'm done," and she just scares the crap out of them because they think she's dead.
Yeah,
So,
she then throws Bobby her stupid T-shirt he's been collecting throughout this
I
journey.
survived the zombie apocalypse, so
Or blue skeletons, or whatever.
Blue skeleton,
And she's angry and is sick and tired of their shenanigans and decides to leave.
Yes.
And they all say, it was all a
all
prank, all fun.
yeah.
We were going to be paid quite a bit of money out of this sort of deal.
Help Mr. Skeleton go viral on the internet and stuff.
Anyway, the drone camera, which was recording all this, starts moving up into the distance, and then we cross over to one of the blue skeletons. He's actually at a special sign that says "Seek Out Hellbound." That's where the name of the place they were going to.
Seek Out Hellbound.
And he starts shifting some words around, and soon enough, by the time we shift our eyes away for a few minutes, we then turn back to the sign, and it says "The Blue Skeleton."
Yeah. So the letters that make up "Seek Out Hellbent" are the same letters that make up "The Blue Skeleton." Ha ha.
Yes.
Very clever, Bobby.
I gotta admit, this is a good twist ending. It's like that other movie we saw of the escape room, where remember that movie that we watched? That was another prank / gone wrong movie. Well, not really prank gone. That one was definitely prank that was going wrong. But this one, it had a good twist. Making them think, oh, she just killed herself, but actually she just did a fake out to trick them, to show them how traumatic it feels to be face to face with someone deaf.
Now,
go on, Mike. You were going to say something.
I was going to say it did fade to black around here. Now, reception. I won't go through all of them. Okay. However, the general consensus is by the mainstream reviewers. The first movie was better than the second movie. I think maybe some parts of the second movie was better than the first movie. So, but the basic line is they liked it, and they thought it was one of the better found footage movies. I must admit, I did like the camera work and the genuine natural acting of the people, like just normal people going about the business. So it wasn't like fabricated too much. It came over as normal. So I think the first movie had a lot of credibility going for it.
Agreed. And
good filming. The set setters. My only biggest problem was it dragged in the beginning of it. Like it's like we're on a road trip
Yeah.
Yay!
Also,
Another tree. Oh, goody.
Also, in the sequel one, we were able to watch as a third person of the blue skeletons watching the group, watching them, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And all the time they're filming them. You could tell it's them because they use a blue filter on their cameras.
Exactly. Now, but getting on to the second movie, some of the reviewers didn't like it because there wasn't enough jump scares in it. They thought it was a bit plotty, and it was relying more on the first movie to support the second movie. Yeah. So honestly, when you got a sequel, I must admit, to me, it should actually bounce off the first movie, or don't bother doing the sequel. Not let's just rehash it and see what we can do with it. So I can see where the reviewers are coming from, but even though it's a continuing storyline, and it does work, it could have been done a tad better to give it a bit more substance. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah, how's that?
But I do enjoy this type of movies.
I like the twist, though. I love the twist at the end, though. That was a really good twist. Where the first movie had, there's no end. It's like we left you hanging, like an Alfred Hitchcock number. And this one had, an old switcheroony. Yeah, really good. Yeah. I did like the ending. Yeah. So, it built up to a good ending for the two movies.
Yeah, it had good closure.
Yeah, I think so. But you probably could have got that movie done in one movie, but just made a slightly longer movie. Get rid of all the travelling crap in the beginning of the first movie, and then Constantine and some of the bullshit in the middle of it, and then all of a sudden you got a really good movie.
True.
Yeah. Anyway,
they probably wanted to add that bit of stuff, and probably some real stuff when they're in the car, just sitting around talking about the weather, or not really the weather.
Yeah, and hanging around, just tuning around.
Talking about what scares them. Maybe some of that was ad-lib because they needed to pad it out.
I would actually say there was a bit of ad-libbing in it and just hanging out and doing whatever. Let's pad it up. Well, padding out doesn't always work. Anyway, I don't have too much more to say for it. But what I will say at this point in time, there's plenty for sale at eBay if you want to go to eBay. Amazon has it rentable and available for purchase, so it's probably on other places and streaming sites or whatever. It's a good, fun Halloween double header.
Yeah.
I would suggest if you like that sort of thing, found footage. I don't particularly like found footage. I think it's overdone, but this is one of the better ones. So it is worth a look. It's a good fun watch. How's that?
Yeah. Well, as I said before in the past, I don't judge found footage, all found footage on the same level. I mean, there's going to be good, bad, and just like you
good,
find
bad, and really pathetic. This is one of the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to find, just like in a lot of movies, you're going to find the bad ones. It's just a matter of trying to watch them and see which is worth keeping and worth viewing
some
again.
things are just so lame they shouldn't have bothered. But this one's good. It's watchable, yes.
Yeah.
And having said that, because it did drag a bit in the first movie and there wasn't enough jump scares for me in the second movie, I'm going to only give it about an 8.
Yeah, I'm going to give... is that for both movies?
Oh, no, overall for the two movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For me, overall... On the two movies, I think I'm going to give it 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, she does like it.
Because I do like the mazes, and they're real mazes.
I think it's amazing.
And I think that the zombie run was probably a real actual thing that did happen.
Real people and real zombies.
Yeah. I mean, it does look exciting, and I wish that more than ever that I get a chance to experience a zombie run one of these days, and maybe even film it for all of you guys.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Maybe using a GoPro camera.
We get a camera down there and say, can we video it and do what do you call it? A
vlog about it.
A blog, yeah, and put it on there as yeah, promote it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about touring places like this, and they get customers in to check it out.
The problem is when you do it after the fact, you got a zombie run. It's already been done, you see.
True.
But however, you can advertise it. This is last year's. Don't forget, it's going to be going to come around next year. Be there or be square. You know, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Incidentally, guys, at Friday night, they've got some really new stuff, I imagine,
that's
coming
how
out.
they want to hear at Movie World.
Yeah, it's got some new stuff. I think there's going to be some escape rooms, and I think there is going to be a few new things I can't really identify yet, but by the sound of it, it sounds really something extraordinary and something exciting.
Any of you guys who live in Brisbane or close to it, check on Movie World's Fright Night. There's some really good, interesting stuff happening there, and it's every weekend through October, isn't it?
Yeah, every
Friday
weekend.
Friday and Saturday night?
From Saturday to Sunday, you know.
Not for Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, I guess Friday to...
I think it's Friday and Saturday nights, I think. But just check to confirm that,
Saturday and Sunday too.
Is it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
I don't know if it's 2 days. I thought it was Friday and Saturday nights, not Saturday. We're booked them for Friday.
Anyway, I do hope you guys check it out and let us know what you guys think of Friday night and everything. You may get enjoyment out of it. You may experience some creepy stuff, like the porcelain dolls, or even a scary Jason Voorhees chasing you.
Or some guy like Leatherface running around with a chainsaw.
Yeah, giving you a nice quick shave.
Well, a little bit off the top, hey?
Anyway, that's about it. There's no reception for this, is there?
No, I just went for it. I wasn't going to go for every one because it's up and down, a bit here, a bit there. I know I just put them all together in one hit.
No fan comments about it, you know, not on Google?
I didn't go. I never Google the fan. I only go through the main ones through your Rotten Tomatoes and your Dead Centrals and stuff, and which might show up Wikipedia in different places. And I don't go through the ordinary ones because they're just so lame sometimes. I didn't like it. He says terrible. No, go away.
Yeah. Anyway, there's also coming up, I think, is VHS's latest movie that's coming out this month, I think.
Yeah, that's an anthology type thing for those of you who haven't seen VHS.
Yeah, it's called VHS 99, which I guess means it's supposed to be in 1999.
It's based in 1999, I gather, yeah.
Yeah.
But there'd be VHS 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or something, or whatever. They've done several of them.
Yeah. Mostly it's gone directly to Shudder nowadays.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of that, I can't think of anything else to say on this one because obviously I can't talk about production and this and casting. They wrote it and acted in it. Yeah. Well, there you go.
I gotta admit, it's kind of clever. You don't have to overact. You just be
another
yourself.
Point, you up-and-coming filmmakers out there, think about it. Bobby and Zach wrote it. Bobby directed it. Bobby and Zach starred in it. Hey, it does keep the cost down.
Yeah.
Okay, have a go. You know, you never know what you can make. I'm amazed they were allowed
to speak normally in this production. Not like the movies we like the the movies that are cinema.
Some of the movies they overdo it.
Yeah.
These guys are just natural. Like, hey, how you doing? Let's go there. Let's have a beer. Whatever. Whatever. Hey, hang on? Did you fart? Yeah, that sort of stuff. Just normal banter, and it worked. I mean, it wasn't overacted.
Like there was even one scene where we see them taking part in a bit of a eating zombie brains competition.
I wonder what they're really eating.
I don't know. Maybe pork.
I don't know, but who's a big guy? Who's a big guy? Is that,
I don't know. I should have looked at their experience.
He threw up, remember?
Yeah, he threw up, and it was gross and horrible.
And actually, a couple of times I threw up, and it really looked like they were throwing up, and that was really good.
Yeah, it was disgusting. Yeah. It was gross.
And sometimes it looked like, I just go, I'll throw up and let some stuff out of my mouth. But it looked like the mouth was open and they were reaching. And it looks so real. It takes you back to Saturday night, so we had a skin full of grog. And, well,
Yeah.
I was young once.
There was even, I remember in the second movie, they actually went to a special effects makeup artist who did, zombie and other awesome makeup for them. It was pretty cool.
Hey, we did that the other year, didn't we? I was made up with a bit of the undead, wasn't I?
Oh, yeah, it was
A
kind of
fat undead. Look at Jabba the Hutt with a bit of makeup on, but I didn't look too bad. What were you? You were
I was
Lily
Monster.
Lily Munster, not Monster, Lily Munster.
Well, actually, I was a vampire.
Whatever, but looking a little bit like Lily Munster, yeah. And so
it was before I lost all the body.
Now she looks really good. Now she had a photo shoot a couple of months back dressed as Elvira.
Yeah, at the time, I actually checked out my Lily costume, and I think I lost too much weight.
She's several sizes smaller now.
Yeah.
She went from about 100 kilos down to 60 kilos.
I may have to look at, if I ever want to fit up ever dress up as Lily Monster again, I may have to get an exercise down.
Oh. Next size down, a couple of sizes down. You get away in a bloody pillowcase almost.
Well, I just mean, like, I think the size I probably got at the time was a medium, so now I'm
an extra small. Look at you.
A small size. So,
what size are you now? Next size 8?
I could be a size 10 or something between a 10 and an 8.
An 8 and a 10, and she was up around what were you before?
Yeah, sometimes even the t-shirts don't really fit me sometimes. I feel like sometimes I am like what Mike says, I ought to fit into a pillowcase now.
And have room to spare.
That's how I feel sometimes with
she's looking really good. Done well.
Anyway, that's about it for us tonight. I don't have any grudges against this movie. I think it's wonderful.
Oh, it's not bad. I do not like fan footage, but I can see what they've tried to do with it. But I do stand by what I said. I thought they dragged it out a bit. Too much padding in the beginning of the first movie, and the second movie they could have done so much better with it and made it a little bit more scary and just a little bit more jump scary type stuff. But it just plodded along a bit, and I think it relied more on the first movie to help shore it up.
Yes.
I mean, that's just my gut feeling. Yeah, I could be wrong.
Yeah, and you've heard me before about how to make a twist ending or a really good ending.
I love the twist. Love the twist. Didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I told this to me and Mike were telling this to a bunch of people we were talking about, and how when you're making an ending, you must write it first. And we often talked about how Roger Corman, when he was making one of his movies, he wrote the ending for his first.
Oh, well, just a very, very, very quick to explain what she's talking about. When Roger Corman was young little Roger, and he was getting into the movie industry and making movies, he was given a chance to make a movie called Highway Dragnet. Now, the making of the movie, when I saw these biography or his documentary and was talking about it, he actually went to a place called the Salton Sea. That's where the river or lake was actually getting higher or deeper, and flooding out the local township. Now, he visited that area and he thought, what a great place to end a movie. He had no idea what sort of movie or what the theme would be. Absolutely nothing. And he didn't know whether it was a horror movie or a western or a police one. He had no idea. And he wrote the movie backwards from that scene. How am I going to get our people to this place? And what's going to be the motives? And then he wrote the story. Now, Stephen King did the same thing when he wrote The Shining. He went to that big motel place up in the Rockies or wherever it was, and he said, hey, this would be a great place for a ghost story. And he actually wrote it based on his experience at this place, and he wrote a ghost story. But at that point in time, he had the idea he was going to do a ghost story. At least he had something to run with. But Roger Corman did it so, nice place to have end of a movie. Wow, that's building from nothing. So really good. I love Roger Corman stuff. He's very much a budget man, but he got good value for money.
Yes, I agree. So that's about it for us tonight, guys. Feel free to check it out and let us know in the comments what you guys think of the houses of October built.
Both of them.
Both of them, considering that there's
two houses.
So check them out. Let us know in the comments which is your favourite movie, and let us know what you guys think.
Well, I like the first one in some ways, but I do like the way the second one actually has a better ending in it. The other
Yeah.
one left it just a cut off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
quite
they'd be
different.
going,
from that.
what?
It's
Yeah.
quite different from ordinary found
Yeah.
footage movies where they just left you dangling.
Yeah, it was very dangly.
Like,
Yeah.
like Stephen went with, which is kind of good because I mean some of them are not too bad dangled, but and all that stuff. But I like a bit of the a continuation here and there if it's needed and if there's a story to tell.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's about it for us tonight, guys. Feel free to check it out and give us your thoughts. Anyway, this is Sarah Stephenson
And Michael.
saying, see you guys around at Boys and Ghouls Film Review. Bye for
Bye,
now.
guys.